Today we will start a new concept which is called user exits. We will also see what is a customer exits. These user exits and customer exits are used to incorporate your own logic in SAP standard transactions. SAP has already given you a lot of transactions. SAP has given transaction for creating materials to you. SAP has given transaction to create a billing document. SAP has given a transaction to create a purchase orders. There are so many transactions are available, SAP standard transactions. Sometimes what will happen, based on the business requirement, you need to do some small additional changes to the standard SAP logic. So when you get this kind of requirement, so you have to look in what are all the possibilities. So user exits and customer exits are slots provided by SAP in standard programs, standard SAP transactions, or standard SAP transactions means nothing but standard SAP programs to implement your own business logic. What is the user exit? Earlier days, SAP used to provide subroutines. So user exits, if you want to implement, you need to have a access key. You need to ask access key to SAP. You need to go to SAP Service Marketplace and provide your program name, SAP standard program name. SAP will give you the access key for that. Take the access key, provide it in SAP standard program. Then only you can go into editable mode. Then you edit the program. That's what user exit is. So user exits are written in subroutine. So because of user exits, there were some problems. All the customers used to change the SAP standard programs by taking the access key, and SAP was not able to find comfortably where users are changing the programs and what they were doing. In case standard SAP transactions are going into some errors, it was used to take lots of time to find out the bug, because standard SAP functionality was modified by the users by taking the access key. So SAP came up with a different approach called customer exits. In the customer exits, SAP will provide us the function modules. The function modules usually start with a keyword called customer-function. So in SAP standard programs or in SAP standard transactions, while writing the code, somewhere SAP will call this customer-function. This is nothing but a function module. Inside this function module, there will be a G include. Inside this function module, there will be include, which is starting with a Z. So SAP has already provided an include which is starting with Z, but SAP has not written any code inside that. If you want to write your own business logic, you go inside this include and you can write your business logic inside this. Because this include is starting with a Z, it will not ask you any access key. You can directly go inside and you can write it. So this is called customer exit. So nowadays we are using customer exits. Now let us go further. Exits are four types. There are four types of exits SAP is providing. First one is called function exit. So if you write logic inside the function module, we'll call it as a function exit. Then we have a menu exit. Then we have field exit. Another one is a screen exit. There are four types of exits. So we will see how to implement a function exit. I'll go to the transaction XK02. XK02 is a transaction for changing the vendor. So in this I will provide some vendor number, company code and purchase organization. I'll select this address checkbox, press enter. So like this, generally some address is there. So when I change some address, when I save, SAP automatically saves it saying that changes have been made and so on. So here you can see in the bottom, changes have been made. So the changes whatever you have done, SAP is saving it. But assume we got a requirement saying whenever the country is India, you have to provide a postal code. So without providing a postal code, if you are saving, it should give an error message saying that please provide postal code. So such kind of requirement you have. But this is not provided in standard SAP. So how to do this? So for this, SAP could have given user exit somewhere in the program behind this particular screen. So we already discussed that user exit is a slot provided in standard SAP to implement your own coding. Right? So it's a slot. There will be a slot behind the program. So let us see where is the slot exactly located. That means where is the user exit located, whether the user exit is useful for us or not. I'll go to the system status to find out the user exit. Double click on this program. So now we will see what is the program behind this transaction XK02. We are into the program. Now there are two ways to find out whether the user exit, where exactly it is available. The first way is click on the find symbol and provide here call customer hyphen function. So whenever inside SAP standard program you find this keyword, that means there is a slot available there. Let us see whether it is there. Yeah, so there are two places you can find out with call customer hyphen function. So this is a place which is available. If you go inside this call customer hyphen function, double click on this 001. Here you can see the command line says user exit begin, right? So here you are inside a function module. Inside the function module you have a include which is starting with Z. So now you need to create this include and you write your own coding inside the Z include. So that is what the basic understanding. So this is how you can find out a user exit. This is one way of finding a user exit. The other way is once you are in system status and double click on the program, try to see in which package the program is stored. So the program is stored in package FBK. So once you know the package, go to the transaction SMOD. The transaction name is SMOD. Go into this. Here click on the find button. Provide the package over here and execute. See, there are two exits available. One is for account payable information or something which is not relevant for us. Second one is vendor master data. So this is relevant. So double click on this. So what is there inside? You have a function module. Inside this exit, you have a function module. A function module name is SAP MF02K001. So right now we are in the transaction SMOD. Remember, SMOD is a transaction to check the definition of the exit. Okay, so what you can come here, you can see the definition. Definition means, yeah, there is a function module you can see, and you go inside this function module, double click on this, you can see the function module. What are all the importing exporting parameters are there for the function module. You can just have a look onto this, but don't create a include from here. So it says I will create, but it has an option here, but never ever create your includes or anything from SMOD. SMOD is for user exit definition, to find out the user exit definition. Don't implement it from here. Implementation means don't create the include here and write the code in SMOD transaction. If you want to implement a user exit, for example, if you want to implement the user exit, go to the transaction CMOD. There is a transaction called CMOD. Come here and you have to execute, or you have to implement your user exit from here. If you want to implement a user exit, you have to provide a project name. So provide a project name here. Click on create. So give implementing user exit in transaction XK02. So this is what we are doing. Save it. Go to the enhancement assignments. Here provide the exit name which we have already seen in CMOD. Sorry, exit name we found out in SMOD, not in CMOD. So in SMOD, whatever the exit name you found out, so provide the exit name over here, press enter. So in the bottom you can see this particular exit is already been implemented by in another project. So in the last class I would have implemented in this project. So what I'll do is, don't worry about this, I will go and delete the implementation done in the last class. Give me 1 minute. I'll go to CMOD. ZPR1 is the one which we have done in the last session. So I will go and delete the old project. So never ever do this kind of stuff in your office until and unless you have proper mail. Don't delete any user exit or don't delete any project. Fine. So what we have done, we came back to our project. Now our project is ZNaran1. Here I'll press enter. When I press enter, you can see now there is no error coming up, because the previously whatever I have created, that project I have deleted, and this exit SAP MF02K is now only used in this particular project JNRN1. I'll save it. I'll go to the components of this. So there is a function module whose name is exit SAP MF02K underscore 001. Now double click on this and create an include. So remember, if you want to create an include and write code, that means if you want to implement your user exit, the transaction code is smod. So you have to create a project and then you have to come here and then implement it. If you want to just have a look on the definition, just want to look on a function module, go to the transaction SMOD. Any of these exits. So SMOD is always for definition of user exits, and CMOD is for implementation. So now I am in CMOD. So I will double click on this include. So I can see a warning message in the bottom saying that these includes are reserved for exit function groups. Of course, we are creating an exit. We are implementing an exit. I'll press enter. So SAP says this particular include is not available. Shall I create? Yes, create it and save it. Save it as a local object. For the time being, save it as a local object. So now we have to write our own code in this include. So what code you have to write? What is our requirement? Our requirement is whenever postal code is initial for a country, for a particular country like India, we would like to give a message, error message. So where you can check whether the postal code is empty or whether the country is India, where you can check. You are already inside a function module, right? So the function module has some importing parameters. See, we are already inside a function module. We are inside the include. This include is already in a function module. This function module has importing parameters such as I underscore LFA1, LFB1. All these are importing parameters. That means from SAP standard transaction, whatever the details you enter in SAP standard transaction, those details this function module is getting imported, because this function module is called in the middle of that SAP standard transaction. So that SAP standard transaction passes some data to this function module and this function module is importing those details. Okay. So what details we want? We were interested in the postal code. So in the postal code, I'll click on F1 button. Go to the technical information here. So what is the field name? Field name is post underscore code 1. Remember, post underscore code 1 is the field name. Similarly, country. What is the country? Click on F1 on country. Country field name is COUNTRY. This is the field name. Okay. And also remember the data element for country. Data element is land1. Fine. So now we will come back to our function module. In function module, in our importing parameters, anywhere do we have this postal code and country? I'll click on this LFA1. So LFA1, you can see land1 is there. This is a country key. Okay, then postal code 1 we need to check. I'll go to the find button. There are two fields. This is, I think, PSTLZ. We'll see any other fields are there. Okay, so I believe postal code is coming into PSTLZ and country is coming into land 1. So these two are available in this structure LFA1. So that LFA1 is given as a reference to this. For example, these are all under importing, right? So if I go to importing parameters tab, LFA1 is given to this I underscore LFA1. So this is now become a work area. I underscore LFA1 is a work area. So in this work area, PSTLZ is a field and land1 is another field. So I will go inside the include. I'll try to write code here. If the postal code, that means if PSTLZ is initial and land1 is India, then give a error message. So let us try to write. So I'm inside the include. So here I will say if I underscore LFA1, this is my work area, hyphen PSTLZ, that means postal code is initial and my work area land 1, that means country key, that is country is India. Then I have to give a message please provide postal code and if. So this message is of type E. I would like to give an error message so that without entering postal code, user should not go ahead when the country is India. So I would like to give message type E. Save it, check it, activate. We will try to put a breakpoint here and we'll see what exactly is happening. So I'll put a breakpoint. Now I'll just go back here. I have to go to my project and I need to activate my project now, the next step. So we are inside the function module and we came into this function module through project, if you remember. Now I will come back. See, this is my project, ZNRN1. So we double click and went into the function module, right? So now I'll come back. Project name is ZNRN1. This is my project. I have to activate this project. Don't forget activating. If you are not activated, so the changes whatever you have done, that means the code whatever you implemented will not work. So activate your project. So once the project got activated, and now you can see in the message in the bottom, project is activated. Now you open the transaction. Now open the transaction whatever you have, that means xk02 from the beginning slash and xk02. So once again I'm going into this transaction. So here as usual I will provide some vendor, some company code, some purchase organization, address details now I am providing. So now I have not given a postal code intentionally. Let us try to save it and see what happening. So when I save, my debugger is taking me here and we'll see what is there in the postal code PSTLZ. There is nothing. What is there in country? Land 1 is India. So if the country is India and postal code is blank, now we are getting this message. We'll get this message now. So in the bottom see it is saying please provide a postal code. So now we will try to provide a postal code. I will try to save it. So now we will see whether the postal code whatever you provided is coming into this. Yes, it is initial. So this particular field is not initial. So this particular check will not be executed and data is getting saved. So vendor is created on so and so date and changes have been made. So this is how the system is checking your own code when you are saving the vendor. So not only for this transaction, the same procedure you can follow for any other transaction to implement the user exits. So this is called function module exit or function exit. So this is a function exit. So in function exit, if you have some question, you ask me. So the next topic what we are going to discuss is a menu exit, function exit. Are you able to understand what exactly we have done now? You have any questions? Fine, we'll go to the menu exit, but the thing is we have one more exit called field exit. So field exit will take a little bit time. So what I will do is I will first show you creation of the field exit. So it will do some changes on the background and then meanwhile we'll see what is the menu exit. Okay, so we'll first look into this field exit now. What is a field exit? Generally, take any transaction, take our example only, like for example this transaction itself. When you are going inside, take any of these fields. For example, I'll take this field region. So how this heading region is coming here? how this country is coming up here. So when I click on F1 button on this particular field, when I click on the F1 button on this field, I'll see what is the data element of this particular field. Data element is regio for this field. I'll double click on the data element and go to the field label. Here you can see region. This is maintained here, region. So because the field label is maintained, the heading is coming in the module pool level. So if you remember, while we have done a module pool program, the same thing has happened. Module pool program, whenever I am taking some fields from the data dictionary, a heading is automatically coming up. So from where it is picking this heading? From the field label, for example. Now, what is the field exit means? Can we change the property of the fields? For example, one of the property of the field is this field label. Can I change a field label for this particular field? Instead of region, can I display here as a state? So you can display, you can change it if required. So take out the data element, data element name is regio, remember, and go to the transaction AC11. Here we can see the data elements, right? Transaction AC11. Here I'll give the data element is regio. I'll try to see the field label, but when I say here change, it's asking me access key. You can see it's asking the access key. But what I would like to do is, without access key, I want to change this by using the field exit. How to do? Go to the transaction CMOD again. Here go to text enhancements, keywords, change. Give the data element here, provide the data element here. So here you can change the heading now. So now you can see you are in editable mode. So instead of region, if you want to put a state, you provide a state here instead of region. Now here it's not asked us any access key. So I have changed. Now I will save it. So now actually what it is showing the message, the data element regio is activated asynchronous in the bottom. So we have already learned there are two updates. Whenever you are doing any changes, SAP will update the database either synchronously or asynchronously. And now how it is updated? It has updated asynchronous. So we have also discussed that asynchronous is a faster way of updating database, but it will not give you the data guarantee. It is a faster way. Synchronous is little bit slower, but it gives you the data guarantee. That means it will wait for the acknowledgement. Once something is finished, then it will take care of other database updation part, execution and so on. But here the data element, whatever the changes you have done, that was activated in asynchronous mode. So it will take some time. I will see actually what happened. The data is not updated because of asynchronous mode. So try to update it once again. Save it. So until and unless it saves, try to do this activity. One more important point we need to make a note. Now what we are doing, we are trying to change the field label of a particular field label. This field, the region field, not only could have used in this transaction, this field could have used in many other SAP standard transactions, right? So for example, this vendor change transaction, if I come over here, region is there, okay, but that means this particular field is used in XK02 transaction. Not only in XK02, there may be so many SAP standard transactions. So in those transactions also, now the heading is going to change. So as of now the heading is region, but we have changed it here to state. So in all those transactions, wherever region is there, everywhere it is going to change to state. To do that, actually it will take some time. So to change everywhere, it will take some time. Once after I save, that means once our changes are saved here, so we have to save. Still it is reason. Let us give some time to system will write our changes to the data element. It may take some time. So what we will do is, meanwhile, we will see the menu exit. So that's the main reason why I have skipped this menu exit and I came to this field exit, because the field exit activation will take some time. Okay, so now I'll go to the menu exit. Meanwhile, let it happen. Let it update all the transactions. One more important point is, until and unless you have proper permission, don't implement field exit, because field exit will not only impact your transaction, it will also impact all the other transactions, because you are changing the properties at the field level. So once the changes are saved over there, then you can see later, maybe after 5-10 minutes when we come back. Here as of now it looks like a region, later it will change it as a state. So meanwhile we'll go with menu exit. I'll go to AC38 transaction, or any transaction. I'll go where I would like to enter some menu options. See here in the program I have create, change, display, exit. After exit I want to add one more menu item, or here in the edit I want to add one more menu item. So enhancing the menu item in SAP standard transaction is called menu exit. So that means if you want to add your own menu item in SAP standard transaction, so that is what called menu exit. So how to find out where the menu exit is available? That means, can I add a menu item in the program or edit or go to where I can add, for example? So let us go to the system status. Let us go to the system status. We'll find out the program name for this particular transaction. So this is the system status. This is the program, and this is the GUI status. ENTW is the GUI status. So in this GUI status, you have all these menu items, all these buttons. So we'll go inside this GUI status. We'll go to the menu because we are interested in menu exit. So we'll go inside the menu. Double click on this. You can see create, change, display or whatever 4-digit function codes on the left hand side. The edit, go to, and utilities. Here you can see when I double click on utilities, there is one function code which is beginning with plus. All others normal function codes, whereas this only is beginning with the plus CUS. So whenever you have this kind of function code which is starting with a plus symbol, there is an option you can provide your own menu item. That means in the utilities, in the bottom, you can add your own menu item. Nowhere else you have such kind of facility. Okay, so when I enter into this SE38 transaction, in the utilities, after these versions, you can add one more menu item. So nowhere else you can add. So SAP has given an option only here. So only here you can add a menu item. So how to add? So now what we have done is we found out where we can add. So now how to add is the question. To add the menu, what we will do is we will just go inside this transaction. Right now we are in SE38, so we are going into SE38 transaction. If you are into some other transaction, go inside that particular transaction, okay, and go to the system status. Go to the system status. Previously we went inside XK02 transaction and then we went to system status. In the same way, now I entered into SE38 transaction. I went to SE38 system status. So here I would like to find out what is the package name. So I'll double click on this program. Let me see what is the package in which this is saved. Go to attributes. So this is the package. Note down the package. Go to the transaction SMOD. So if you want to find out exit, go to the transaction SMOD, click on a find symbol, provide a package and execute. So now here there are two exits are available. One is for customer function, the screen level environment menu. Another one is ABAP editor. So we are interested in this menu. So we'll double click on this exit. We will double click on this exit and see what are all the options are available. There are two function modules available here, you can see. Okay, and there are two function codes are available plus CUS. There are two function codes. If you want more details about this, you can read the description to understand. See here, it's a function exit on initial screen of ABAP editor for new version. This is the function exit on initial screen of ABAP editor of old version, old workbench. As of now, we are using a new version. So we have to write code inside this, not inside this function module. We have to write code inside this. Okay, because of new version, we are using new version. And similarly, here also you can see the program name SAPLBABAP. So this is the program name you can see here. That means for a new version, if you want to provide some menu item, use this function code in this program. For old version, use this. Right? So identify, like, try to understand the definition. That means definition means enhancement. And note down the enhancement name. Go to the transaction CMOD to implement your enhancement. Go to the transaction CMOD. Here provide the project name. Click on create. What we are doing? Menu exit in SE38 transaction. Save it. Go to the enhancement assignment. Here provide the exit name which we have copied already. Press enter. Go to the components. Here go to this SAP LB something is there. So click on this menu. So here provide your function text. Function text means what sort of text you want to see on the menu item. So I want to see here as go to data dictionary. Actually what I have done is I came in a display mode. Here you can see display mode. So this option is not working correctly for me. I'll close this. I will make it change mode. I have to come in change mode here. I'll come from here in the change mode. I'll go to the components. Now I'll double click. Now I'm in change mode. I'll double click on this. So now I will provide my menu item description. If you want to put an icon, you can provide icon, text, everything. But I'm putting only the function text. Continue on copy. Save it. Now you can see as soon as I provide a text, a tick mark is coming up here. A function code is plus CUS. The 4-digit function code is plus CUS. Remember. Now I need to write code in this function module. See, I have given a menu item description. So when I click on that particular menu item, what should happen? That I should write here. Double click on this function exit. Now then you will be inside a function module. Double click on this G include. Create a G include. Okay, enter is not working. Yeah. So now I'll press on this. So here I'll write the code. So here I will say case Sayucom. When somebody clicked on plus CUS, what I should do? I should do something, maybe I should call transaction AC11, because the description what we have given is go to data dictionary, right? So when somebody click on that go to data dictionary, we have to call the transaction AC11. So this is what the code I have written here. Activate my include. Come back, I have to activate also the project. So here is also there is a button activation, but here also you can activate. You can see instead of red LEDs will change into a green color LEDs once you activate once the project is activated. So here you can see green LEDs will display. So yeah, so the project is activated. Now come and open AC38 transaction. So now here in the AC38 in the utilities you can see there is one more option has added, go to data dictionary. So when I click on this, I went to AC11. So when I click on the back, obviously I will go to AC38. So this is how you can provide an additional menu option in any transaction. We have seen providing it in AC38, but likewise the same way you can try it for some other SAP standard transactions, providing menu options and implement your own code when you click on the particular menu item. So this is what about your menu exit. So hope you got what is the menu exit. Any questions you ask me? Meanwhile, we will check what happened to this field exit, whether it is saved or still has some problem. I'll go to the CMOD. Not yet. Main problem with your field exit, you need to repeat this activity lots of times until and unless it saves to the database. Because this field data element is used in many places, it will take some time to update everywhere. Okay, so let it happen, and meanwhile we will also have a look on the screen exit. What exactly this screen exit? How we can do a screen exit? I'll go to a transaction. The transaction name. Let us take one transaction. ME22N. ME22N is for changing the purchase order. So this transaction is for changing the purchase order. Let us have a look onto this. So this is how the screen looks for you. So here I'll go to other purchase order. I would like to provide some purchase order number here. For purchase order, the relevant tables are EKKO and EKPO. EKKO is the header table, EKPO is the item table, remember. For delivery note we have done right in the script. What are all the tables we have used? LIKP, LIPS. So those are delivery header, delivery item. Similarly for billing, in the smart form I have given a billing example where I have taken you into the tables VB, RK, VB, RP. Those are billing header, billing item. Okay, VB, RK, VB, RP. So now purchase order, when you are looking, EKKO, EKPO. So these are the two tables, a header table and item table. Purchase document. I'll go here, other document. So now it should get the data from EKKO and EKPO tables and it will display on the screen now. So here you can see these are on the top there are some tabs: delivery, invoice, conditions, text, address. All these are header level. That means EKKO table, if you go, you can find out all these details. In the bottom also you have some tabs. See here you can see the item. That means these are item level details. These are item level, item 10, 20, 30. These are item level details. In the EKPO level you can see this details. Anyway, but our intention is adding another screen. See here for material data you have material group, vendor material number, vendor subrange. Like this, I want to add one more tab, like delivery schedule, delivery. I want to add one more tab here. So here see, this is the master data, this is the first tab, qualities and weights. So this is the qualities and weights, delivery schedule, delivery, invoice. All these tabs are listed over here. Now I want to add one more tab. I want to provide one more screen wherein I want to put my own fields. Okay, so I want to add one more screen in the item level of a purchase order. So that is what my requirement, my business requirement says. Show another fields. So nowadays every purchase when we are doing, for example, when you are doing any online purchase, you will enter some coupon number based on which you will get some discount and all. So such kind of coupon number I want to provide. So that coupon, provide the coupon in standard SAP, there is no option in standard SAP MA22 transaction. So I would like to add one more screen where I will provide the coupon number. So how to do this? How can I enhance this transaction for a screen? As usual, when you are inside this transaction, go to the system status, go into the program, go to properties or go to attributes and note on the package. Package is ME. So once you noted down the package, go to the transaction, SMOD, to find out the exit name. Click on a find symbol, view the package. You can see the exits available. So there are so many exits with some descriptions. You have to choose a suitable exit. If you don't know, you can always ask your functional consultants. They are well aware of which exit you need to implement. Otherwise, you can go to the documentation of this. For example, let me take this exit. Customer fields in the purchasing document. Customer field means our own fields. in the purchasing document. Yes. So based on this description, you would like to proceed. Yes, you can go inside this and see what is that. If you don't know, always in the go to there will be an option called documentation. So go to documentation. You can see there is no documentation is available, but for some exits SAP will provide you the documentation. Otherwise you can look, Google it and find out whether if some documentation is available for this MM06E005. You can find some sort of documentation. So where exactly we can use this exit, in which cases we can use. See, if you observe here, there is a function module. There are some function modules 006, 007, 008. If I scroll down, still there are so many 9, 12, 11, 14, 16, 17, 18 and so on. And here in the screens there are some screens you can see, because now we are doing some screen exit. You can see some screens. You can read the description. The first screen, that is this screen 0101, is for PO header. 0111, this is for PO item. That means if you want to add a screen in the item level, use this 0111. If you want to add a screen in the header level of the purchase order, use this screen 0101. If you want to add a screen in the scheduling agreement header, then use this 0201 and so on. So you can see there are, for various regions, that means for various options, you have various screens. SAP has already given you these screens. But SAP has not yet created these screens. SAP has just given the screen numbers, but SAP has not yet created these screens, because SAP know that you will get some add-on requirement, something like a coupon code you want to enter. At that time you will create this screen, and on that screen you will put the fields whatever you need. So SAP has just created this program SAP LXM06. Now what you need to do is, in this program you need to create this particular screen. Once you create that screen, that will appear on the purchase order item level. SAPL is a keyword generally we will provide before function group, right? So this is a function group. Function group is XM06. SAPL is a prefix. When you are looking in program perspective, every function group will have a prefix of SAPL. So this is a function group. So now let us try to understand this. In module pool programming, we learned how to call a subscreen, right? So there is a subscreen area, and there will be a normal screen, and there will be a subscreen, right? So in our module pool programming, I have a normal screen 1000. In this normal screen I will have a subscreen area. So I will also have one more screen, maybe 110 or 120 or whatever. This is a subscreen. So this subscreen will come and sit in this subscreen area. So we saw how it was happening, right? So now same scenario here. Assume this is your module pool program, and this is your normal screen. Okay, and on the normal screen you have a subscreen area. So here I told SSA, but here SAP has given a different name, Cust SCR1. This is a subscreen area. This is your subscreen, but this subscreen is available in different program. Okay, it doesn't matter if the subscreen is available in the same program or a different program. So subscreen is available in different program here in this case. Okay, so now try to understand this function modules. Now if you see, each and every function module has its own purpose. For example, if you take this 006 function module, it is for exporting data to customer subscreen for purchase document header. So that means if you are implementing this screen, if you want to put some data into the subscreen of 0101, you need to make use of this 006. So similarly, take this 007. This is for exporting data to customer subscreen for purchase document header. So here, data to customer subscreen for purchase document header. Let us see what it is. Export data to customer subscreen for purchase document header. Export data to customer subscreen for purchase document header. Both look same, but maybe inside this function modules, maybe importing exporting parameters may be different. Okay, but these are not relevant for our case. These may be different. Importing exporting parameters may be different, but these are not relevant for us. Our intention is to add a subscreen in the purchase order item. So let us see, is there any suitable function modules related to purchase order item? This is for purchasing document. This is before saving purchase document. Somewhere, is there anywhere can we see purchasing item? Yeah, you can see this is the suitable function module. This is to export data into the customer subscreen of purchasing document item. So this is 16 function module. 16 is suitable for us. What it will do? It will export data to the customer subscreen. So once we create a subscreen, from the database table, it will export data into that particular screen, just like your PBO event. And here there is one more function module. This will import data from customer subscreen to purchase document. The import means once you provide a coupon number, so that data it will import and it will push into the database. So for that purpose, you can make use of this, something like your PAI. Fine. So once you try to understand this, then note down the exit name, try to implement it, go to the transaction. And one more small point we forgot, that is there are two includes. If you observe, I'll go to SMOD, I'll try to reopen the same thing. If you look into the components, there are two includes here. One include is EKKO include. Okay, so this is a EKKO. That means if you want to add some fields into the purchase document header, add into this. If you want to add some fields into purchase document item, add into this EKPOD. So I want to add some fields into the purchase document item level. So I will double click on this and I will try to create this. So okay, so that creation I will do it in CMOD transaction, and this is for just to display what are all the features are available. So this is the include where I need to add some fields, something like coupon code and so on. Those fields I will add into this include. Fine. So now I'll go to first I'll copy this enhancement. I'll go to the transaction, CMOD, provide a project. So here what I'm doing, adding screen in ME22N transaction. So this is what we are going to do. I'll go to the enhancement assignments. So we know the enhancement name, provide it, press enter. It says this enhancement is already available in so and so project. So somebody has created this project LO020. Maybe SAP could have created. So I'll go to that CMOD. The project name is LO020. I'll try to delete it. Once I delete, then only I can implement in my project, that is JetNarN3. I'll go to the components. Here you can see a tick mark, right? So what I have done is I have already added some fields into this include. So now when I open this structure in S11, because creating this structure will take lots of time, so I don't want to wait that much time in the class. So what I have done is I have created an include, a structure with the name CIEKPODB, where I have given two names, that means two fields. One is a coupon and another one is card number. So these are the two fields I have provided. And remember, whenever you are using any structures, any includes which are available in the user exits, the field names should start with a ZZ. Always the field names start with ZZ. It's a recommended way. It's not mandatory. You can start without ZZ also, but it's recommended. SAP says whenever you are enhancing a table with the include structure, always make use of ZZ. How I have done it means I double click on this, then immediately I will go into something like I'll show you here what I have done. For EKKO I will show you the same thing I have done for EKPO. Okay, so for EKKO I double click, so it says this is being created. Okay, create it. So now I will go into the structure. Here I will provide the short description, field names, types and data elements I will provide, and then I will activate. Actually activation will take some 15-20 minutes. So that's the reason I have created it before itself. Okay. So now I don't want to do it for EKKODB. I have already done it for EKPO because I want to add fields in the item level. I have done it for EKPODB. So what fields I have added? So there are two fields, coupon and card number. So as soon as I activate this structure, so once I activate this structure, if I go to the table EKPO, if I go to the table EKPO, I can find out what are all the fields I have added in this table. So in that the CI underscore EKKO or EKPO, whatever the structures are there here. Whatever the fields you add in EKKO, that you can see in EKKO table. Whatever the fields you added in EKPO, those fields you can see in EKPO table. Okay, it will come automatically once you add the structure. Once you create this structure and activate it, automatically this table will be enhanced with the particular fields. It will happen automatically. So now the next step, what we have already have a structure, we have some fields. Now these fields, the coupon, code and card number, whatever, that I want to put in the purchase order item level. So this is the screen for purchase document header level and this is the screen for purchase document item. Double click on this. The system says this particular screen is being created. Yes, we want to create this screen. This is for PO item So whenever you are creating a screen for SAP standard transaction, always it will be sub-screen. It should not be a normal screen. If it is a normal screen, it will not go and sit in a sub-screen area, right? Because SAP has already defined the sub-screen area, and this screen 111 will not sit in a particular sub-screen. So select the sub-screen, go to the layout. The structure in which we have added the two fields. So I'll click on get from dictionary. So I have two fields, one is a coupon and card number. So select them and provide it over here. Provide the description. Minimize the subscreen area. So I have minimized the subscreen area. Go to the flow logic. So actually we will not write any logic in the PBO RPAI. Where we should write the logic? We should write the logic. I'll show you where to write, but I will just activate this and I'll come back. I will activate this screen. I'll come back. So there are function modules we have seen 16 and 18. So these are the suitable function modules. 16 will act like a PBO and 18 will act like a PI. So we have to write code inside this function module. There will be include, and inside that include you have to write the code. So what code you will write in PBO? Generally now what happens after creating this particular screen, this screen will appear in ME22N transaction. I will tell you what exactly will happen. Let me come back. I activate this project. I'll activate this project. Sorry, not this. Our project name is Z3. So we have to activate this project. Okay, so the project is activated. Now we will try to open the transaction once again. /NME22N. The transaction is opened. We will give a purchase document number. So this is the header part, this is the item part. We have added a screen on the item level, right? So here you can see customer data. There is one tab is coming up, customer data. This is not there previously. So I will click on this customer data. You can see there are two fields, coupon and card number, whatever we have provided. So those are available here, right? So now for this purchase document number, right now we are looking into item number 10. Okay, so we are in item number 10. Similarly, item number 20 is there. Similarly, item number 30 is there. There are so many items are there in this purchase document. For each item, you will be having a coupon and card number. Assume for each item, you have a coupon number, card number. Where this data will store? I told you this data will store in EKPO table. Purchase document item details will store in this table EKPO. So we will see for this purchase document for item number 10 or 20 or whatever, do we have any coupon value card number as of now? No, because we have newly introduced these fields. For example, I will provide some coupon number, something. So when I enter a coupon number and press save, when I click on a save button, so I'll go on change mode, and when I click on a save button, what should happen? So now I will try to save it. So whatever the data I entered here, that should go and save for this purchase document for this item in EKPO table. That means the screen data, whatever we are providing, that should go and save in database when I click on a save button. Okay. So this is something like a PAI. So in this case, in process after input, you should write whatever the value inside this coupon or whatever the value inside the card number, you should capture it and you should save it in the database table. So such sort of coding generally we will do it in PAI, but in our case we will do it in the function module which I have shown you. So let me go to SMOD. So here is my definition. So here if you see, what it is doing, export data to customer subscreen. Customer subscreen means this subscreen. From this subscreen, export data to the customer subscreen of the purchasing document item. So where it will export? It will export to the database probably. So you can use this function module. You can write code inside the include of this function module. So inside the include of this function module, you can capture. See here there are some importing parameters. I underscore EKPO is there. In this I underscore EKPO, you will have the purchase document number, you will have item number, you will have a judged coupon code, judged whatever. So those numbers will be available. So once you implement this include, your database table gets updated. Try to implement it because it's the same way what we have done for other function exits we have seen. We have seen it for normal function exit, we have seen it for menu exit. In the same way you do it. So once you implement this include, what will happen? When you click on a save button, whatever the data you entered here, that will go and save in EKPO table for this document. That means after saving, if you go to this document, if you go to item number 10, if you go to item number 10, as of now, judged coupon, judged card number will come as blank for this. We will see. So now I will select this row, click on display. So I will scroll down. So for this document, for this item, where is the coupon code? Nowhere. We have to look in the next screen. Okay. Here, yeah, you can see the judged coupon and judged card number. As of now, these are blank. But once you implement the include and save it, so this value, whatever you provide here, that will appear in the table. Similarly, next time, tomorrow, when you are opening this particular purchase order after saving, tomorrow you came here and opening this purchase order, then what should happen? This coupon code is already available in the table, so it should come from there and display on the screen. For that, you need to implement the other function module here. This is importing data from customer subscreen for purchase document. So it is importing data for customer subscreen. So go inside the function module and implement the include, write code inside this include, so that from the database table, if some data is available for coupon code and card number, the data will come and appear on the screen level. Try writing your own logic here to do this. It is something like your normal function module exit, which we have discussed just now. Okay, so this is what about your screen exits. So once after writing the logic inside the includes, then it will work perfectly. So this is how you can add a screen on your SAP standard transactions.